I wouldn't have been able to do that if it wasn't for Family Hustle.
Right.
Now, it does come with some, it's some adversity. It's some adversity to come with that. People get in your business.
Yeah.
T.I.'s son, King Harris, has been arrested after not appearing in court and some other things connected to his actions.
Something is brewing in Atlanta that's got the whole industry whispering. The Harris family, once the crown jewel of reality TV and Southern hip-hop, now stands on the brink, and it's not just because King Harris is lashing out again. We're watching the unraveling of a dynasty that once seemed untouchable. A golden family portrait now shredded by public brawls, online leaks, and the kind of rumors that turned family reunions into paternity court. King Harris, the son once paraded as an heir to T.I.'s throne, has stepped out from behind that carefully staged velvet rope to torch the script. He's not just dropping rap tracks, he's dropping bombshells, hurling allegations of mistreatment and blowing the lid off the question that's haunted him for years: who's really his father? And, as if we're not already on our third refill of sweet tea, there's talk that this answer could detonate everything the Harrises have built in public view.
He's like that. So him being arrested isn't really like the shocker. It's him coming out and his, I guess, reaction to it, right? Because everybody's saying, King, you grew up privileged, bro. Why are you going down this path? Now he's talking about F the police, F12. So,
We all saw it coming, or at least we felt something was off. King's rebellion isn't some passing phase. This is the kind of outburst you get from a son with decades of grievances. That viral meltdown at the Atlanta Falcons game? Not a blip, not a publicity stunt. We watched, phones in hand, as the family suite became a gladiator ring. There was King, defiant, shouting about how he stands on business, daring his father to silence him. There was T.I., the man who once styled himself the King of the South, trying and failing to keep control as the whole confrontation spiraled live on Instagram. It was ugly. The back and forth between father and son snapped past the usual family roast. This was real. T.I., red-faced and struggling for composure, finally put King in a headlock. Cameras caught the briefest glimpse. King yelling, "Get off me!" and T.I. barking, "You're embarrassing yourself and your family." Tiny, stuck in the middle, tried damage control but ended up making things worse, telling the world her son sucked on a pacifier until he was 12. We're not sure if that's supposed to embarrass King or T.I., but either way, it's clear the myth of the perfect Harris household is gone and buried.
Still trying to coddle him for? Let the man walk out, have some time to himself, sit down, soak it up, and come up with what he need to do.
But what really sent shockwaves was King's claim that he didn't even grow up in that fabled mansion. He lived with his grandmother. He's been pushing this narrative for a while, rejecting the silver spoon label, insisting he came up rough while the world saw only gated communities and reality TV cameras. The drama peaked when King turned his grievances public, fueling talk of mistreatment, isolation, and being sidelined in his own family. Suddenly, his social media outbursts and angry tracks made more sense. He wasn't just acting out, he was telling the world something's been rotten behind those closed doors for years.
And you can, kind of woo-saw yourself outside of the public opinion.
And here's where the rumor mill hits overdrive. Multiple sources claim King went even further, taking a secret paternity test behind his father's back. This isn't just a spat over curfews and Instagram passwords. After years of whispers, questions about timelines, about who really fathered whom, King allegedly decided to get answers for himself. Was he really T.I.'s biological son? No one's talking on the record, but the energy is electric. King's desperation is palpable, his fury now reframed as the struggle of a young man coming to terms with a possible double life. Every angry post, every brawl with his father, suddenly takes on the gravity of someone who feels he's been lied to since birth. And if the stories are true, if King's test did not match the family narrative, then this is not just a private scandal. It's the sort of secret that would send shockwaves from Atlanta to every corner of the music business.
I graduated. That's the only good thing they posted of me going viral. I'm not on the media's good side. I don't know why, but it ain't.
Of course, the internet has turned this powder keg into a wildfire. TikTok, always first to weaponize a family's pain, picked up on the feud and did what it does best, spun out a conspiracy theory so wild that even daytime talk shows started sniffing around. Some TikTokers claim King is not T.I.'s son at all, hinting at a hidden family arrangement that would make any reality TV producer drool. The spiciest version? That King's real mother is not who we think, that he's actually the son of Tiny's alleged hidden daughter, a supposed secret from Tiny's past. Suddenly, the Harris family tree looks less like a family and more like an unsolved puzzle, with whole branches missing or deliberately covered up. If this sounds outrageous, that's because it is, but when has that ever stopped the internet? As the rumors swirl, even those closest to the family are ducking for cover. Tiny and Zonique, King's mom and sister, have both popped up on social media to swat down the talk. Tiny called the DNA rumors lies you read, while Zonique wanted to know which street this word come off of. Nice try, but you can't unring a bell in the court of public opinion.
Making mistakes. I ain't had no daddy who'll pull up and get on my ass anytime. Things I did, you can't get away with. I know that.
None of this would hit so hard if the Harrises hadn't made their reputation as the first family of Southern hip-hop. For years, they gave us the highlight reel, platinum records, Grammy nods, VH1 spin-offs, kids with perfect Instagram feeds. We watched them in designer kitchens, at award shows, at family barbecues, selling the image of the modern, blended dynasty as 7 children, and each one was proof that you could have money, fame, and family values all wrapped up in a neatly packaged TV hour. But now the cameras are gone and the scandals are pouring out like spilled bubbly. King isn't the only Harris making headlines for all the wrong reasons. Legal trouble, arrests, and unfiltered rants have become as common as birthday shoutouts. King himself is a magnet for controversy. Arrested in Georgia for a late-night traffic stop, allegedly found with a firearm, and then, with typical bravado, bragging on social media that he still got his chain. This is not the wholesome TV son we remember. This is a young man spiraling out while the world watches, every stumble amplified, every family squabble magnified for maximum clicks.
So the dynamics here are interesting, but I can't judge how the parenting is gone, because everything that we've seen has been stuff that many of us would have said or similar if we saw our children do this. But I will say this, a lot of what's happening is because it's in the public. Like most children don't have to do this in the public.
And let's not forget the family's ongoing war with scandal at the highest levels. Just as King and T.I. were battling in public, the Harris family name was back in headlines, dragged once again into allegations of forced misbehavior, trafficking, and wild conduct from years past. Sabrina Peterson, the former friend turned relentless accuser, claims she has receipts and isn't shy about threatening to air them. And she's not just going after T.I. and Tiny, now she's dropping King's name, saying she's protected him from the fallout in the past. Meanwhile, T.I. is still playing it cool on Instagram, telling his followers not to spread lies and be negative. But the FEDS are reportedly circling, and Peterson insists the truth is on my birthday, it's about me. The FEDS already have this. I think the fans need it. The Harris family, once untouchable, is being battered on every front.
What we not gonna do is open up the door to my bedroom, as you shouldn't have to either. Open up the door to my bedroom for everybody to come in and chime in and make their opinions about what we do and don't do or should or shouldn't do. But I will say this, whatever we ever have done has been done with consensual adults.
As the feud with King unfolds, T.I. tries to keep up appearances, even using the controversy to plug King's music. After the infamous Falcons game dust-up, the rapper posted that the Harris family is tied like a knot and that nothing could break their bond. He told followers, "What is the internet talking about? The H family is tied like a knot. We're all we have for life." But the public isn't buying it. Not when every week brings a new rumor, a fresh leak, a viral video of the family coming apart at the seams. King's outbursts are more than just youthful rebellion. They're a public plea to be seen, to be heard, to finally force a reckoning with whatever secrets the adults have been hiding.
If you are going to be emotionally attached to how they receive it, if you're going to have an emotional attachment to their opinion.
The spectacle is now impossible to ignore. Fans and critics alike are left wondering if King's paternity twist is just the tip of the iceberg. Could the Harris dynasty, once sold as Atlanta's royal family, be built on half-truths and desperate cover-ups? Every whisper, every TikTok theory, every sidelong glance at an old family photo hints at a reality even messier than reality TV ever dared show us. And as King stands his ground, refusing to let his father write the family story without him, one question echoes in every corner of the internet. What else is he hiding, and just how much deeper does this family drama go?
Same to me, I ain't really got too much to say on it. Just, getting my hustle on, stacking my bread.
So what that mean, getting your hustle on,
stacking my bread, that's what that means.
We're watching a son fight to become his own man while the world keeps shoving his famous last name in his face. King Harris isn't just breaking away from a family brand. He's torching the script and trying to rewrite himself one reckless post at a time. Lately, King's whole persona has been a billboard for independence. He's gone all in on the rebellious prodigy act, trading in the Harris heir image for something edgier, rawer, and if we're being honest, a little desperate. His Instagram is a fever dream of boxing gloves, wild outfits, and hard-edged captions that drip with defiance. Gone is the carefully curated TV kid. In his place, a 20-year-old grinding out rap singles, sneering at the Silver Spoon label, and making it clear to anyone listening that he doesn't want to be defined by T.I.'s reputation, good or bad.
I really admire his dedication and commitment to the craft, because, I kind of told him what was wrong about it.
But there's no easy escape from a name as loaded as Harris. Even when King tries to shed the family skin, he can't outrun the headlines or the constant reminders of where he came from. Every misstep, from his Georgia arrest to the now infamous Falcons game clash, just ropes him back into the family's public drama. And it's not just the press that won't let him go. It's his own bloodline, watching, judging, clapping back on social. For every viral rant about being misunderstood, there's Tiny or Zonique leaping to the family's defense, telling the world not to believe the gossip. And yet, the more King pulls away, the more it feels like the family legacy is closing in, trapping him between scandal and expectation. If we dig past the headlines, the cracks in King's identity start to look less like a branding problem and more like a genuine wound. The real story isn't just about public fights or TikTok conspiracies. It's about a kid who, by his own account, spent most of his upbringing with his grandmother, not his superstar parents. While the rest of the family lived in gated luxury and mugged for cameras on VH1, King says he found refuge at his grandmother Diane's house, a quiet world away from the reality TV circus. When he talks about her, the tone shifts. He calls her Mama, credits her with shaping him, and even takes her public scolding in stride. The public might remember King as a kid with a mouthful of gold and a taste for chaos, but those close to him say his grandmother has always been the anchor, the one real parent in a storm of handlers, managers, and producers.
You supposed to know better than being out there and engaging in adult activity. Don't let a temporary...
The rumored paternity test, if true, could be the real hand grenade behind the Harris family's recent implosion. On an emotional level, this alleged move would represent King's ultimate rejection of the identity his parents spent years building for him. A high-stakes gamble to sever ties and reclaim his own narrative, no matter how much pain it caused. For King, seeking out that answer in secret may have been less about humiliation and more about a desperate need to resolve a lifelong suspicion. But with the rumors now in the open, the psychological fallout is undeniable. The family, once united under T.I.'s ironclad brand, now faces a fracture that can't be fixed with an Instagram apology or a well-timed family photo. Every side-eye on social, every coded lyric, every public spat becomes a fresh reminder that, for King, the need for personal truth might outweigh any hope of reconciliation. But the consequences of such a bombshell don't stop at hurt feelings. The Harris empire is as much a business as it is a family, and a paternity dispute could trigger legal headaches with real teeth. If King's test results, true or just rumored, prompt a formal challenge to his place in the Harris lineage, there's a world where things get even uglier. Talk of legal estrangement has already started churning in certain industry circles, with some insiders whispering that T.I. might consider publicly distancing himself or even taking the nuclear route, disowning King in an official statement. For a dynasty as brand-conscious as the Harrises, the optics of such a move would be disastrous, sending shockwaves through management, sponsorship deals, and the entire web of business partnerships that rely on the image of a united family front.
You're a great family man. I see you how you blended your family together. And it's not easy. And that's what I want to ask you about. It's not easy.
Underneath all the legal maneuvering and public posturing, there's a deeper, more intimate cost, the psychological toll of questioning one's own bloodline, especially when that question is played out for millions to watch, could leave lasting scars. King, for all his bravado and rebellious posturing, now finds himself at a crossroads. Is he the cautionary tale of a son who blew up his own family for a shred of truth? Or is he a tragic figure, forced by circumstance to break every taboo just to find peace? As the fallout spreads, the family's silence speaks volumes. The world may never know the full truth behind the paternity rumors, but the damage is already visible, woven into every uncomfortable red carpet appearance and every awkward social post. This is where things get genuinely messy. King's connection to his grandmother throws the whole Harris fairy tale into question. Was the perfect family life we saw on TV just smoke and mirrors, staged for ratings while the real nurturing happened off camera? Did King grow up feeling abandoned, a prop, in someone else's show, longing for attention from parents more interested in protecting their image than raising their son? The emotional cost is written all over his recent outbursts. The more T.I. insists King was raised right, the louder King shouts that he had to find his own way. And underneath all the bravado, there's the uncomfortable possibility that King's lifelong estrangement from his father isn't just about resentment. It's about a deeper, lingering suspicion that he's never truly belonged in the Harris family at all.
You should be rapping about the things in your life that you have in common with other people who may not live like you.
We can't ignore how much of this tension seems to swirl around the question of identity, both in the literal, biological sense and in the sense of family legacy. King's rumored paternity test isn't just a tabloid sideshow. It's the culmination of years spent feeling different, outside, disconnected. Did he seek those answers because of a hunch that's gnawed at him since childhood? Was he always the other, the outlier in a family obsessed with appearances? If so, it's no wonder he's lashing out. What happens to a young man's sense of self when every photo op, every TV episode, every family reunion is shadowed by doubt?
Steve Sadar reached out to me looking to make a deal on behalf of T.I. and Tiny. And I told Steve Sadar that my clients want justice. So if the deal involves Tiny and T.I. turning themselves in and admitting to the crime that they've committed, then fine, we got a deal. But if it does not, then I would prefer to have the investigators do their work and to bring criminal charges against Tiny and T.I.
And just as the Harris drama looks like it can't get any more toxic, the outside threats loom. Sabrina Peterson, never one to miss an opportunity for the spotlight, is once again promising to drop receipts that could push the whole situation from messy to catastrophic. She claims the FEDS already have the goods, but she wants the fans to see the truth for themselves. Peterson has a track record. She's the same former confidant who once accused T.I. of threats, later brought allegations of forced misbehavior, and never stopped throwing gasoline on the Harris family bonfire. She's now throwing King's name into the mix, suggesting she protected him, teasing DM exchanges and evidence the family has desperately tried to keep hidden. It's a PR nightmare for T.I., who spent the past year lurching from denial to vague platitudes on Instagram. Every time T.I. insists it's a beautiful day to not spread lies, the internet rolls its collective eyes and scrolls to the next viral thread. The deeper we dig, the more the Harris empire looks like a sandcastle in high tide. VH1 canceled their flagship show after the first round of allegations, leaving T.I. grumbling about no integrity and no closure. Meanwhile, the court cases, lawsuits, and constant media speculation show no sign of letting up. The family's attempts to project unity, posing for baby shower photos, plugging King's latest single, or swearing they're tied like a knot feel increasingly forced, like a sitcom well past its prime. Even Tiny's public defense of King, slamming the paternity rumors as clickbait, can't stem the tide. The more the family insists nothing is wrong, the more the audience senses they're hiding something big.
So how do you feel with, because now that the evolved T.I. is also the even more of a father T.I., because not only are you just a father, you have to be a father in the industry, because all your kids are in the industry.
Man, damn. Yeah, that's I ain't see that one coming.
Now all eyes are on what comes next. The internet is bracing for Peterson's next move. Will her receipts finally deliver the smoking gun, or will they be just another twist in a story already full of detours? Is King about to bring the whole dynasty down from the inside, or will he end up as another cautionary tale, a young man devoured by the very legacy he tried so hard to escape? The stakes couldn't be higher. With each rumor, each angry post, each denied accusation, the possibility grows that the Harris family is facing not just scandal, but extinction. The curtain is lifting on a family that can't hide behind TV magic any longer. One thing is certain, the truth always comes out, and when it does, the Harris family may never be the same again. What do you think? Are we witnessing the final days of Atlanta's first family, or will they pull off one last comeback? Drop your hottest takes in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for all the latest dirt. Stay curious, stay bold, and remember, in this business, secrets never stay buried for long.